Hello and welcome, brave souls, to the center of your entertainment galaxy. I am your GM in the Great Barrier, and we are here today with Star Trek Adventures Aegis. We are starting a new adventure by Guile or by Might, which we'll go ahead and call this Part 1. I know myself too well. There will very likely be multiple parts. Anyway, we are getting back to our 22nd century campaign, where we have been on a long expedition. One might even say, in my rare abuse of the soundboard, it's been a long. In all seriousness, we will try to keep these more regular, but obviously IRL circumstances come into play some of the time, so we just manage as best we can. We appreciate your patience, though, and the continued loyalty for those of you that watch and follow along. So, without further ado, I think that we are just going to jump in with an officer's log. Craig, take it away.
Executive Officer's Log, 19th of March, 2155. Or the 14th Moon, Fessoan, Lorvalm, year 463. We're continuing on our course to the Arachnid Nebula. Since passing Terra Nova, we've had minimal contact with Starfleet, mostly due to the weakening signal now that we're so far out. With only the Enterprise having visited this region, it is now truly deep space exploration. At least from a human perspective. Andorian ships and probes have visited this area before. I believe the famous exploration vessel, the Deshars, went through here. Fortunately, I doubt the Imperial Guard would respond positively to any requests by myself for the data. The severe limiting factor in all this for us is our top speed. Far less than Warp 5, and Alaska is insisting we stick to cruising speed as much as possible in order to save wearing out the engines. We're a long way from any Earth-based assistance if the Aegis fails, so we need to give this flying tin can as little stress as possible. Alaska wouldn't like me calling her baby a tin can. I've been getting used to my additional responsibilities of the executive officer's role. On top of my responsibilities as armory officer, there's a distinct increase in workload. So why does Starfleet get any exploration done with all the bureaucracy? I can see why Patel often looked so frazzled. End log.
Okay. So, some weeks out of Groombridge, and after also a ways after a minor incident in the science lab, unrelated to your last planetary mission, the Aegis is presently moving along at a cruising warp speed on its course to through deep space. I would like to ask to start out with, would anybody be interested in a scene, either for one of their main characters, or possibly for a supporting character?
I've heard distantly that Felix wanted to do something. But
Do I? I mean, the captain indicated that she would like to play poker with Horn at some point.
yeah.
So who else have you invited to the poker game?
Um.
Or is it just a two-man game?
No. Shira, if you want to get yourself involved. Xantar.
What is this poker?
It is a gambling game, and she'll give you the rules.
Allow me to set the stage for us here. So we will take this scene right over to the captain's mess, I think would be the most appropriate place. Let's make some people visible here. And switch that over. So, as the Aegis warps by, and we get the establishing shot of it making a pass, we peek in on the small compartment where the captain and a limited set of officers will take their meals from time to time. Tonight, however, the mood and occasion is very different. We're going to set it with something a little less ornate in terms of meals. I'm also going to make this set just a little bit larger. There we go. And yeah, the four of you are gathered around a deck of cards laying about the table. Beverages, if so desired, also present. And let's see, should we say that the captain is already, or like the captain has explained everything and you're already a hand or two in?
Yeah.
Everyone comfortable with that?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah. For the fun of it, just to see how you're adapting, Xantar, Shira, give me a command plus reason roll. This is just for fluff to see how you are acclimating to the rules of the game. I'll set this to just a difficulty 1.
Nope.
Yes!
Okay. Shira, there are a few intricacies that you aren't quite getting, and perhaps if the phrase poker face has been dropped, which for all you know you might have heard a ways there, I don't think that maybe you're getting the full intent of it. So maybe you are trying, maybe you are, I don't know, your quote-unquote poker face you're putting on, I'm willing to guess that you have the bluffing backwards, so you tend to put on a strong showing or a strong, confident face when your hand is at its best, but otherwise, are a little more neutral.
Shira's poker face is just confusion.
Yep. Xantar, on the other hand, the interspecies medical exchange has also taught you plenty here, and I'm sure somebody found a way to gamble.
Oh yeah. Like Xantar's poker face is usually just him, just a pleasant smile, like the overstretched one, just to freak everyone out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it works surprisingly well.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, well, Santa. I call your bluff in a raise.
I suppose that we could make this really fun. I can deal you out playing cards if you like.
Oh yeah.
There. Everybody, playing cards should be visible, so... let's see here.
Yeah.
I don't have this set necessarily to proper poker rules, so I'm just going to deal out 2 to everybody here. Let's
Go fish. Oh wait, wrong game.
What does fish have to do with anything?
I'm not sure.
You can be cold as a fish.
There you go. So, you should all now have 2 cards. I believe that I would take 2 myself and 1 that would be laid at... Well, no, wait. One of you would be functioning as the dealer, not me. So, let's call this... Let me roll a d4 here. Let's see. Shira can... we'll spare you from the deal, actually. Horn will let you be dealer in this case.
Okay.
Very efficient at it.
Yes.
Maybe too efficient.
It's passing cards out. It's really hard to be inefficient.
Yep. So...
You just say that.
Alright. So... now, correct me if I'm wrong, because the GM is having a moment where he doesn't recall the rules of the game itself, but in the...
The table draws 3, and then we all make a call of whether we're going to change cards, raise, call, change cards, and once everyone makes a call, you draw another card. House draws another card to 4. You do it again. And you call for, and then from that point onward, we try to see what sort of combo we can make from the draw. I do believe.
Okay. Well,
Been ages since I played poker.
going from the dealer's left, Sharp, you would be the first to make that pick.
Well, I didn't see the 3 cards. I didn't see the house cards.
Oh. Felix, lay out... What, it's laying out at least 2 of the cards, or is it all 3? Once again, the GM is fluctuating.
How do I do that?
You should be able to click on the playing cards that you have now, and be able to...
Yeah, click, drag, and then just put it down.
Yeah, 2 of those cards would be your hand, so...
Oh no, we already got the 2 cards. So, this...
Well, that's all cards I have.
Alright. Oh, nope, Felix, you drew your own cards. Not what you're supposed to do. Okay.
Yeah.
But I thought you start with 3 cards out.
No. The house does. You are still a player. You keep 2 cards to yourself.
Well, but he's dealer in this case.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I am a non-corporeal meta-narrative entity here. Oh.
But no. But I mean, you're... Because the dealer's still a player. So...
Yeah, well, I'll deal you out 3 new cards there, Felix.
Yeah.
Or 2? I'm confused now.
It's...
You get 2 in your hand. You get 2 in your hand, and there's 3 on the table.
The board. Yeah, you get 2 in your hand and 3 on the board.
But I only have 3 cards.
The 3 on the board is what everybody tries to use for their combo.
Okay. Tell you
But
what.
I only have 3 cards. That's all I have.
Tell you what, Felix, what we'll do in this case, I'm going to take one of your cards back. I'm going to say that the 3 cards that were out there are the cards on the board. Then you have 2 cards there, so that should,
Yeah.
I'm just going to set this one back here. Alright, so there.
Cool.
I appreciate everyone bearing with us through this here.
This has just been like like Shira just like asking. Well, there was wait, but I thought he was a player. No, yeah, he's house, but he's also a player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's when two players really don't know what's happening and ask questions, and even the people who know the game also get confused.
Yeah. So either that or nobody has in fact played the game, and Sharp is trying to teach everybody, which was especially strange.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, you see your cards. Panda, you would make the first choice on whether to go through those options.
I will hold. I'll call. Yeah, I'll call.
Who are you calling, sir?
So 5. We'll go by 5. So right now, everybody puts down 5.
So Xanto just leans into Shira. He's making the initial bet.
Oh, right, okay.
Yep.
5.
Sharp sticks out 5 momentum tokens on the board.
Yeah.
Okay, Commander. At this point, you would either raise him by whatever amount you think, to raise the stakes, as it were, or you can call again and just add the 5. Just match his.
Do I have to do anything?
If you don't want to play in, you can just fold if you don't think you have a good enough hand.
No, I don't think so. I've got a Joker and a 2.
No, don't tell him.
What? Oh.
Also, I thought the Jokers were removed. Damn.
Well, it's got a J on it.
Right.
I did say Jokers are wild in this game.
Yeah,
That's-
see,
that's-
look. Sure.
No.
With the fused torso.
Yes. We'll put that back into our hand for now.
Oh.
So at this point, if you wish to continue going, just add 5 into the pot along with Lieutenant Sharps.
Right, okay.
Colonel Sharps, sorry. Captain? Colonel? Apologies.
Colonel Captain.
So are you calling, raising, folding?
Folding.
Okay.
I think that may be best.
My other card was a 2.
Yeah, that's fair. As for me, Colonel, I will call. Xanatar takes out 5 and puts them on the table.
Horn.
And I call as well.
All right. Draw the next card onto the board.
Let's see. I will take care of that here. So, with the next card up, Panda, I think the...
Yep. I'll raise another 5. I'll raise another 5. So 5 plus another 5, so 10.
Xanatar wants to try and perceive if the colonel is bluffing.
Well,
Okay.
let's make this a roll here. The first one for momentum on the table. Sharp, this will be command plus presence. Xantar, you will be running command plus insight.
If possible, I think I have a thing that allows me to change my using my command for my medicine. I believe it's doctor's orders. Can I try and use it in a sense of I'm trying to... here it is. Attempt to task coordinate others or to coerce someone into taking or refraining from a specific course of action. But could I fudge it and say that I'm looking for more biological clues as to their bluffing?
I think that the Xantar might be playing into some idiosyncrasies here, so that I would allow that.
Cool. Going full Sherlock Holmes. Pupils dilated, pulse raised, breathing shallow. He's lying.
So I do have focus. I do have focus.
Yes, turning pink.
I do have focus that is gambling.
I would say
Wow.
I'm going to gamble and say that I can use my xenobiology focus on this roll.
On that point, I will disagree.
Fair enough. I'm counseling. I think that helps.
No such luck here, Xantar.
Not that it matters.
Ooh.
That is outright terrible.
Okay, well that is... let me get this updated here, because it is... okay, sharp, just a few moments behind. I realized I was looking at the wrong display there. But yeah, Xantar, you score a success. Sharp, you also score a success. Because you were taking the initiative, Xantar, you managed to overcome this. Furthermore, Colonel Sharp, you have rolled a complication on the board. That is a natural 20 right there. So,
That it is.
you must either accept a narrative complication, ignore it and give the GM 2 points of threat, or you may... Well, the only way that you could buy it
I'll
off
just
at
get
this point
narrative.
would be determined.
It's a good narrative. Narrative would be fine.
narratives.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a good time to do narrative.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Xantar. Well, let's see. First, let's get into the success of the roll. Sharp, would you say that you are angling for a bluff at this point, or are you playing what sort of sentiment do you think that Xantar might pick up?
Amused, but definitely there would be a bit of a slight bluff. There's not she's kind of good, but definitely she wishes she had a better hand. So she's kind of bluffing by putting in an extra 10 or extra 5. And
Yeah.
Sorry, say again. So are you bluffing?
I am a little bluffing, but not.
Okay.
But I don't have a bad hand. It's just not a great hand.
All right. So when it comes to like Xantar's term, I think I will raise you, Colonel, by another 5.
She puts down the other 5. Calls.
I should ask Horn, Shira, are you keeping a pace with this?
Well, sure folded. Oh, Horn.
I'm staying in the game. That's cool.
So you're paying the extra 15.
Yeah. Just watching this, just keeping pace.
What is just Horns just going? What is going on inside their heads?
All right, last card. Call.
I too am calling.
Horn.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I got pairs of 8s.
A pair of 8. What about you, Horn?
Nothing that can beat that. And just put the cards face down.
Well, as for myself, I'm still fairly new to the game, but I believe this is called Pocket Rockets.
For those listening in the audio format, Sharp has obviously thrown out a pair of 8s, the 8 of clubs and diamonds. However, Xantar has answered with a pair of aces, the ace of spades and ace of diamonds.
Smiles and just gestures like, go ahead.
Yeah, Xantar sort of pulled the pile towards him.
Not a bad start.
Thank you, Colonel.
You're welcome. Still having trouble, Shira? Understanding the game?
Yes.
Should we introduce some Cindy to the game so we feel more at ease?
I believe the reptilians will be good for trying to call our bluffs.
Alright. Draw another hand. Six back.
Oh,
Bridge to Colonel Sharp.
She gets up. Well, she smells out. She's been smoking a cigar. She smells the cigar and gets up. Colonel Sharp here.
Captain, I have a report from Lieutenant Melnyuk. She's come back to the bridge herself. She has something interesting that you and the other senior officers might want to see.
All right. We're on our way up.
So, with the cards gathered, I'd say Sharp, they were probably on your end, not entirely shuffled up, but maybe at least folded into a mostly neat. Yeah. But yes.
The chef is or whoever, one of my minders.
Yeah. Let Alonso take care of it.
Yeah.
Or whoever the yeoman is.
Yeah. Let's go see what's going on.
I will ask, Xantar, would you like to go up with them to the bridge?
I will.
Yeah. All right. So it's a relatively short walk. Any words you'd want to exchange from yourself, perhaps in pairs or amongst each other, just while the GM manages the scene transitions?
Yeah. So you see, Shira, the game isn't about the cards. The cards are, at the end of the day, irrelevant. It's a game about deception and
Oh.
Confidence.
not being deceived.
Ah, right. Okay. So cards are relevant.
Well, if you can bluff well enough, it really doesn't matter what your cards are.
Might try to think of it as a tactical exercise for deceiving your enemy,
Yes, that sounds interesting.
or in my case, biology.
Deceiving biology?
In a sense. For example, I figured the Colonel didn't have anything too good because, while their physiology didn't seem to give off any indication that they were overconfident about their hand, they also were cautious. Meant that they probably had something in the mid-range. I figured it was maybe a pair of 9s, or a pair of 8s, or a pair of 7s. But if they'd had a pair of 9s, then they would have felt more confident due to having 9 on the table, but they didn't. So I figured one of the latter.
You'll get used to it, Shira. And if not, there's always blackjack.
Ooh, whole nother game.
Quick jaunt through the corridors, and a trip up the turbolift brings you to the bridge, where the 4 of you step on board. And you see around the bridge various stations occupied. Lieutenant Melnyuk at Sensors, Alvarez temporarily manning security, Chief Justice on the tail end of his shift, and Creighton at comms. Hello, sirs.
Creighton, Yilnik, I heard that there is something you wish to show me.
Yes, Captain. I've picked up an interesting, stable, radioactive anomaly of some sort. I'm trying to get a precise readout on it from here, but as near as I can tell, it is a stable, radioactive anomaly occupying a space just outside a particular section of an asteroid field in the system, one of the denser and larger formations. The anomaly appears to be emitting radiation that, at least from most distances there, would be safe to approach with, even with navigational deflectors. We could get pretty close to it without having to even polarize our hull plating. What's more interesting is that I'm detecting very unique metal formations in the sections of the asteroid. Signs of magnesite, iron ores, and other more complicated metals. Some of them I'd been running by with material sciences and engineering. We could have precursors for some of the more useful compounds that would be good for ship production or repairs, particularly heronium.
We are in short supply of a number of things. Think Romanov and your own team would be up for a bit of mining, if need be?
I can't say that I'm any good with a laser drill, Captain, and I would also think that might be more suited to the chop of the engineers, and I think I heard the quartermaster's got a particular inkling for it. Honestly, anytime I spot a useful material on Sensors, that man feels like he's dogging my steps, Colonel.
She smiles and chuckles a little bit. She looks over to Shira. Anything from the reports from the Andorians about this little nugget? The radiation or anything? Since he did pass here.
Do I know of anything about this area and mineral content? Guessing the answer's probably no.
I will say, I'll say no in this particular section. There's particularly since you lack access to those reports from the Imperial Guard, it's safe to say that you don't know anything about mining prospects or particular operations in that area. You would at least have a very basic knowledge with Andorian ships. You know that heronium isn't typically used in guard ship construction. Or at least hasn't been adopted yet. That's been more common apparently to Earth vessels.
I'm afraid not. The geological studies of this region passed me by. I'm not sure we'd be all that interested in heronium anyway. It's not typically used in Andorian ship construction.
Fair enough. Crichton, is there any buoys or signals? Any flags being planted around here? Lane claim.
None that I've detected on sensor. None that I've picked up on communications, sir. The radiation is posing some mild interference, but it would be localized to that area of space, Captain.
Alright. She flips the comm switch on her captain seat and says, Colonel to Quartermaster Fernier.
Are we stopping, Captain? As the line opens, I can have the drill teams ready here as soon as possible.
I guess you already hear about the news.
Oh hell yeah! I'm sorry. It's not every day we find a deposit like this.
How soon do you think you can get a nice large sample? I don't want to stay here for too long.
Well, once we get there, set up the equipment properly, and depending on resistance in the ore, I'd say somewhere between hour, 2 or 3, 3 tops, definitely.
I'll hold you to that.
Yeah, we could get there a little quicker, I suppose, if the chief's willing to give us a smooth but quick ride. And it depends on how close we can get to the segments of ore.
I'll see how close I can get you. She clicks off and says, Crichton, set the condition to yellow. Let's get a little cautiously closer.
Aye, sir. Setting to condition 2. Present shift. Moving to action stations. Other shifts being alerted for standby.
Let's see what's let's see what we can get from this.
All right. So Chief Justice, with that acknowledgement, will alter course and set you in close to the field. Let's shift perspective a little bit. So, with that course correction, Justice will bring you out of warp and will set you relatively near the field. Let me just get one thing here. Okay. Alright, so the chief will set out the chief is going to set up the sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here.
No worries.
Best words here. Come on. Alright. So, the chief takes you out of warp. You find yourselves kind of near the, about midway through a relatively vacant star system. A few planets on the inner side, like on the intersection. Class D's pretty much, of no interest whatsoever. And then a few, like a gas giant or two on the outside. It is about as bland a pit stop normally as one would expect, or scarcely even reason to be a pit stop, save for the ores that appear to be present. For some perspective, let's put the Aegis just outside of that. So, or better yet, here we go. So Aegis has come out of warp, and what's his face? Justice begins to nudge it on a course running parallel along the side of the field. We're approaching the system. The anomaly appears on my navigational sensors at somewhere denser in the field, some sort of radioactive cloud of some kind.
Basley, is it messing up our sensors any?
It's a little more difficult deeper in. Plus, though, that magnesite's going to be an issue. Though I'm sure with our naturally talented science officer, surely that wouldn't be too big of a deal. For her part, Melnyuk is already at work with the sensors here, so let's see. Call that reason plus science. I'm going to set minimum difficulty on this to 2, but that'll go down to a 1 because of the ship's sensors. So that'll give you some information. 1 success for Lieutenant Melnyuk. Can one of you also give me a roll from the ship for sensors plus science, please?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thanks, Craig.
Sensors plus science. Science.
There you
Wow.
go.
Yep, that is 2 successes there, putting you at a total of 3 successes on that. So I will say that earns you a point of momentum. Shira, would you like to be designated momentum officer?
Yeah, sure.
There you go. So Melnyuk is going to punch up a sensor display, and I'll shift screen again here. Let me get this perspective shifted there for everybody. Okay. The radioactive field appears to be situated far in the, like on the far end of the field. We are currently located relatively on the far side of the segment. So, right about here. Aegis is obviously not quite to scale for this. But yes, I would say that based on my sensor readings, I can verify that there are some particularly impressive seeming radiogenic metals in sections in these larger asteroid formations. They are receiving a steady low concentration of radioactivity, which has stimulated them and created the unique properties, particularly for the heronium precursors. If we were to approach in shuttle pods, then that would be able to navigate through most of the field while also still remaining shielded. It does seem as though there are some hollowed portions of the asteroids or recesses that could be entered via the shuttle pod, where most of the deposits I'm detecting are likely to be. Will note, Captain, some of these sections are potentially hazardous to navigate the Aegis itself through. If we wanted to pass the ship through here, there is a corridor that we would have to enter around. So we basically have to come about from this relative northern section and, or this section at the top here, and proceed in that way. It would give us a relatively direct course from there, but there would be, I'd say there'd be some constraints maneuvering in that section. Justice looks back and says, "Yes, Captain, I don't think I'd want to, I wouldn't want to do anything too crazy, certainly not run up to warp there, but I could probably manage half impulse at least."
She looks at the situation, eyes kind of narrow a slight. Milner, can you double check on our scans?
Aye, Captain. Well, not reading anything else on the anomaly, or no signs of any sort of fluctuation in size or anything. It doesn't appear to be contracting. Likewise, it seems to not be expanding in any significant way. I would call it a relatively steady phenomena.
And the deposits seem consistent with the material around here?
Aye, Captain. I'd say that this is, these deposits are naturally occurring. It's honestly a bit of a fluke that they are both naturally occurring but also situated, or that the anomaly has emerged where it is. It's created a unique, it's created the unique opportunity for the metallic formations to become slightly irradiated, which, for the Heronium, I'm not quite as familiar with my material sciences, but as I understand it, prior to ship construction or use for its other applications, it requires heavy bombardment by radioactive isotopes, which tends to render it unstable. It's a more dangerous part of the manufacturing process, as I understand it.
So wouldn't this be unstable as well?
Well, the trick is that we don't need to bombard those, we don't need to bombard the metal with radiation ourselves. That's more the difficult part. It's, when it is bombarded under factory conditions, usually it's done at a high enough level that, for one thing, the metal takes on the properties quickly, but the machines have to be built exceptionally strong because there's been known to be combustion at sufficiently high levels, the only ones useful for manufacturing. In this case, they've received sufficient streams of low-level radioactive isotopes that the metals have that radiogenic property that are required before they can be used, but they, for lack of a better term, it's naturally occurring. It doesn't require any sort of intervention on our part, or really any risk of explosion, certainly. Let me put it this way. If we found the raw metals that would go into a heronium alloy, it wouldn't make much it wouldn't be that useful for us because we couldn't build stable enough machinery to actually process it on board.
She just eyes the field and looks at Chief Justice. How long of a trip for the shuttles to reach those deposits?
Oh, I could probably get us there in about 30 minutes. Less if the crew doesn't mind me adding a bit of flair to it.
And if you reach back to the barn in a panic?
Well then, let's just say I could have us back quick. Might need to fix the paint job a little.
Well, despite my paranoia, we still need that heronium. All right. She thinks about it for a moment. Mjolnir, Chief. She just kind of considers. Yeah. Mjolnir, Chief, Shira. I want the three of you and Fournier, whatever team he needs to assemble, to get on the shuttles and check out those deposits. Get as much as you can, as quickly as you can.
Captain, I might be better useful here at Sciences. I know that I can understand why you want to push me out to field work, but mining operations really aren't my degree of specialty. If you would like me to assist on this, I may be better suited perhaps towards helping to calibrate the machinery or preparing to test the alloy deposits.
Can I assess how much she's bullshitting? Like, how much she just doesn't want to go versus, like, she actually would be useful down there?
Oh yeah, sure thing. Insight plus command.
Like, if it's just too pedestrian for her.
Yep. And this is actually really fun because Mjolnir has the baffling briefing talent, which means when engaged in a social conflict where deception might be in play, science can be used in place of command so long as their technical knowledge is used appropriately. So,
yeah. Gambling or diplomacy, linguistics, strategy.
I'll apply strategy loosely.
Yeah. Okay. Just for the sake of, I'm gonna take that one momentum just so we can try to get more momentum as I use cautious.
I was gonna say the captain's gambling, but then it's not that much of a gamble.
No. And let's go. Wow, I get to reroll though.
You do.
One die, or is it?
Yeah,
I think
so
cautious is one. So.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I do actually think cautious like revisions have allowed for cautious to apply to the whole pool, so I could give you one additional
one more.
there. Yeah. In any
There
case,
we go.
I mean, beforehand, Melnyuk only rolled a single success. You rolled a single success initially, which would have been enough to succeed because you were taking the initiative. However, with your 2 additional successes, for a total of 3 on your part, Captain, you gain 2 points of momentum. So you, the gamble paid off, as it were. So let me actually update the momentum there, since it's I had not done so initially. You had started with, you had picked up 1, I think, during the poker game, and then picked up the 2 here after spending it, so you've doubled your pot, as it were. Yeah, Melnyuk is just trying to evade this for whatever reason. Maybe she doesn't want to ride in the shuttle pod, maybe she doesn't want to be in the spacesuit again. The last time she did either of those things, she fell through a few decks.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't suppose Mr. Xantar wants to come just to watch keep an eye on our well-being then?
I guess it wouldn't hurt, especially all that radiation. Doctor?
Indeed, I can prepare a few things to help protect them.
Great.
It occurs to you too, Doctor, that with all the radiation out there, biological agents are less likely to survive. All the nasty ones.
Yeah. Well, best get going.
So clean.
Shira, I want a report every half hour.
Will do.
Alright. So,
She just motions the hand, going like, off you go. Go.
yep.
Okay, let's head to the shuttle bay.
Yep. So let's sort out the teams here, or how we want to break down the away team. On the NPCs, you've decided to at least dispatch Melnyuk and
Fernier.
Fernier.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we have Xantar and Shira as players, so obviously the captain is staying behind. Panda, do you want to bring a supporting character?
I'll bring my dwarf of a guy.
Okay, Specialist Leighton. And then, Felix, would you like to bring a supporting character?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Do you want Horn to stretch his legs such that he can in an environmental suit?
I'd rather really not. It's too much radiation for my taste.
Fair enough. Okay. So, let's see. I guess Chief Justice will round out the... Well, we'll set it to just a random con officer. Do need another of those at some point. I'll figure that out. Let's get that set up here. So, the landing party launches as a shuttle pod deploys out from the Aegis and begins making its way deeper into the field. Just for one additional little bit of fluff there, I think I'll let Justice take another role here. Actually, you don't necessarily have to play him if you don't want, Felix, but if you would like to at least manage roles for Justice and maybe even have the chance to activate him, then I'd give that. I'd like
I can.
That.
Where is Justice?
He's in the supporting characters under Khan.
There he is. Yeah, now I can roll.
Yeah. And we can debate an activation for him later on. But if you could give me just a control plus con, and then one of you roll me for the shuttle pod, this will be just a difficulty 1 piloting roll. Okay, that is 2 successes from Horn, so that's already enough for what you need to do. Would somebody care to grab the shuttle pod for me? Captain, I'm drafting you on this one.
I've got it.
Oh, Xantar, thank you. Thanks, Peter.
What role do you need?
The shuttle pod, this would be engines plus con.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Engines.
I will readily concede that a shuttle pod such as this is just not likely to do anything because it is a small, not well statted. Oh no, a complication.
No. Oh dear.
Spicy. Okay, well.
Oh, all new characters.
Well, I will put this to the whole group. What would you prefer to do? So Justice will net you an additional point of momentum here. So your total...
So we got a total of 4 right now. Or 3.
3,
yes. Total 3. Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Let me
Shira,
deal.
if you can...
I'll
draw
deal
some
it out
more.
to you real quick, Greg. Here you go.
Okay.
So yes, at the moment you have 3 momentum in the pool. The shuttle pod has rolled a complication. So, 1 moment for me to cough. Okay, thank you. So, the next basically choice here would be, do you accept a narrative complication? Do you ignore it and give the GM 2 points of threat? Or do you use some of the momentum you have accrued to buy that off?
I would always vote narrative.
I think narrative.
That's half the crew on this. Panda, Felix, Thoughts?
I'm always happy with the narrative.
I mean, I'm getting outvoted. Narrative.
Okay, all right. We are firmly on the. I guess it would be rocks fall, not rocks fall, everyone dies, but more fall into a rock, everyone dies. Train today.
Maybe today is a good day to die.
Maybe. Yeah. For those that prefer that as a vibe, feel free to check out Star Trek Adventures Broken Sword, Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on twitch.tv/GM in the Great Barrier. Shameless self-promotion. But yes, on the immediate mission, so I'll say that the shuttle pod manages to navigate the field like relatively easily. Melnyuk has provided coordinates that show signs for the most promising sites, and with that, Justice is able to traverse the field without any issue. On the final approach, Justice angles towards one of the larger asteroids. I've spotted one of the recessed chambers, Captain. I think that we might have, Commander, says, addressing you, Sheriff. I think that we probably have our best shot of finding this Heronium right over here.
Okay, take us down.
Yeah, right. Firing up maneuvering thrusters, getting RCS set, and I'm gonna just nudge us in, and begins to do so. When the controls begin spitting out error messages. What the hell? I'm having a problem with RCS. We're not we're translating a bit low here. The surface of the asteroid is coming in a bit quicker than you'd expect, and you see the mouth of one of these like cavern-like craters approaching. The shuttle pod is angling lower than it should. Control systems appear to be functioning, but RCS isn't properly functioning on the ventral section here, Captain. Trying to compensate. Commander, sorry.
Do what you need to.
He pushes the sunglasses up his nose. All right, come on. Stand by. Like, the asteroid is getting closer and closer. Too much acceleration. We're not gonna be able to pull us up this way. Stand by. I'm going to try and maneuver. I'm going to try to rotate our position here. Hang on. And, I'm going to ask Felix for one more roll. A daring and con roll. And I am spending a point of threat to increase the complication range by 1 point. So it should be a total of 2 now.
Okay. Should I buy another die? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, spending 1 momentum.
Nice.
pretty good.
Good.
Okay, that is 4 successes. I had not included difficulty there. I'll say it was a difficulty of 2 for the maneuver he was attempting with the time there, so that should be a success. I am going to, however, ask for the shuttle pod to also roll, which it is doing so at the same difficulty. Or at the same complication range, so once again, somebody can grab that.
Pete, you want to do it again?
Yep.
Don't worry, it can't happen twice in a row.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Hold
Oh.
on. You rolled an 11.
I blame
there.
Craig.
Hold on,
That-
there's something not...
That is an 11, and that last roll was actually a 7, so I feel like I need to dispense a bit of threat in order to do this. Something with the shuttle pod is wonky here. So, there.
The shuttle pod's dice aren't functioning.
The shuttle pod is just it's made of explodium, clearly.
Yep.
Okay, so we're not actually rolling. He's not actually rolling actual 20s. Okay.
No,
Yep.
I'm not. Luckily.
Yep. With that, Justice is able to switch the RCS over to, or is able to use the RCS system to basically flip the shuttle pod to where now the dorsal section appears like it is about to smash into the edge of the cavern wall, but as he completely rotates the shuttle pod, he fires up the thrusters and immediately sort of dodges, basically, coming within meters of having sheared the top of the shuttle pod's hull.
Good flying there.
Yeah, now just using the maneuvering thrusters to reduce our speed here. Landing might just be a little bit rough here, Captain. You know, you are the commander of the ship here, so it is entirely proper, but I'm just, call it wrong side of the bed this morning.
I'm pleased in your confidence to give me a promotion.
Mr. Santa, you don't happen to be carrying any stimulants on you?
One moment, and checks his bag. Yes, here we are.
Yeah, gotta say,
Could we
Lambert's
not stim the pilot in mid-flight?
Lambert's pretty good about it. He is definitely the person I want to, I like to have along for exactly that reason. Yes, you, with a little more wide awake, Chief Justice will take you deeper into the cavern, maneuvering around, and then in the last few moments, flipping the pod once more and using the thrusters to gently nudge you to the ground, or to a floor, effectively, of the chamber. So, the pod lands, and you are safe for that. I will also note that with that successful landing, the Overland Gamer, our own Mr. Azek Korg of the Broken Sword campaign, has spent 1,000 quatlus to grant you an additional point of momentum. Combined with the points you would have picked up from the earlier roll, let's see, you had spent one of those, so that put you down to 2. The ones you earned gave you 4 dice, or rather a total of 4 points. And that last spend brings you to a total of 5. So, yes, your shuttle pod lands safely in the cavern, and you are, you are down.
Good flying. Right. Let's get to mining.
Lieutenant, if you don't mind, I'm going to double-check the control circuit in the shuttle pod. Mjolnir says, I'd rather we not lose thrusters or life support or something else on this, because of some wonky little circuit somewhere in this thing.
Yeah, check the shuttle over.
Yeah, I can take care of that, Milnook. I'll get the equipment here. Chief, you and I can start working on that right away. Back aboard the Aegis, it remains in its position at station keeping outside of the asteroid field. For what you've discovered is that There is quite a good-sized field in this area. It is very dense. For a scale 3 ship, I will say that a trait is in effect that outside of a narrow corridor around the field, it would be very difficult for you to navigate through, or there would be exceptional hazards to the ship. If you were to do so as well, it would mean, or if you were to proceed into the corridor, it would increase the difficulty of most navigation-related tasks. So, with all of that...
Fantastic.
Yes, yes. So with that, let me stick us over on the... I'm trying to get us onto the bridge. I realize a few positions just need to be filled very quickly. And...
So I see you're not liking this, Captain.
yeah. Let's move this up to the bridge now. So, on the bridge of the Aegis, relief staff have come into play. Your manning positions, and everybody seems to be more or less performing their duties as usual. But
Yep.
there is
Xantar's
one.
in there.
Sorry about that. Let me fix that. He was hiding behind a transparent version of Romanov. I am cursed with seeing GM layer. Okay.
It's fine.
So, we pan back to the bridge, where relief personnel have stepped into the various stations, and everyone is working as would be normal, seeming fairly routine. The noticeable exception, at least for one of you, would be the one in the center chair. Captain, how would you say Sharp's dis-ease or discomfort manifests?
She's relaxing on her chair. Her head is being held by her fist, as she just kind of like gives a very narrowed, not super narrowed, but just like a very pointed look at the screen, and and just the various asteroid field ahead of her. She's just silent.
I see you're not liking this, Captain.
It's a very nice spot. Too nice of a spot.
It reminds me of something my wife used to say. Something seems too good to be true, it probably isn't.
I'm wondering why, if isn't already somebody laid claim here. They're just waiting for us to walk through their trap. She just sits up a little straighter, flips the comm towards engineering. Romanov, can you send a false drone? Let's see if we can trip whatever is going on ahead of us, if there's anything ahead of us.
Yeah, sure, Captain. I can get that going for you, no problem. So Romanov will set to work on getting that prepped. Are you saying, just to clear up, do you want me to try to rig one of the sensor probes for something, or should we take out like one of the explosive warheads from a torpedo?
Just send one of the sensor probes and cook up its thruster profile to make it look like it's us.
All right, I can.
Equivalent to us.
I can create that advantage. I can either roll for it, or we got a bunch of momentum I see here in the pool. So
Yeah, we have plenty of momentum. Let's use the
yeah,
momentum.
I'll get the momentum out of Cargo Bay 1, and we'll get right to work on that, Skipper. Creighton to Dr. Lambeth. The Metaspeak is happening again. I am recording this. It will be in the YouTube archive.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll look over to Alvarez and say, "Still nothing."
Nothing on the sensors, I think. He says like quietly.
Stuart's like, yeah, I still have a read on the shuttle pod's ion trail. Looks like it cut out near the asteroid, and I'm still getting EM signatures. There's a bit more interference from the magnesite in that section, but they're near the metal deposits at least.
All right. Let me know if anything changes. She says, and she just continues to watch and wait.
Yeah. So, as the two of you, as Horn and Sharpa ponder their next move here, I'm going to presume from Joe's last message, other people might have been sent to Adland for a moment. Well, that's okay. They'll be able to catch up in the archives if in the worst case scenario. But let's get things moved over. Okay. Let's see here. So, in the depths of the asteroid that you had landed on, Justice has found a segment of relatively stable area, and after taking a bit of time to effect repairs, 5 of you have disembarked. That would be Xantar, Shira, Melnyuk, and Specialist Layton, who, just to make it clear, first and foremost, everybody should be in an EV suit, which means everybody will get 1 point of resistance.
Yay.
I'm looking for a good symbol for this. So I don't remember what we did last time. Let's call this here. I'll call it this sort of shielded symbol, basically. So you all are wearing the standard spacesuits of the era, allowing you relatively good mobility while also being able to withstand the forces of vacuum. You are all shielded from that and able to proceed through the environment. Your visors are lit up. Good question for the away team right now before anything happens on the ground here. Obviously, the shuttle pod was loaded with specialized equipment for the mission to help with mining efforts. Beyond that, is there anything special that you would want, or anything outside your usual set of kit? In particular, there's always the question, Shira, are you expending the necessary threat for an escalation? Do you want that phase, or that particle rifle, basically?
This is a mining and geology operation. No need for a phase rifle.
Copy that. So, yeah, anybody else want to request any specialized gear?
Nope.
Alright. So, With all of your EV suits secured and crates being offloaded, the chief says, "Well, we should probably start getting a little look around here. We'll see if we can spot out these veins of uranium. Doctor, anything? I guess you'll let us know if we need anything radiation-wise, or you got a handy injector?"
I have injectors in case anything gets if the radiation levels get too high, but I think our EVA should handle it. Just give me a moment. I'll just a quick scan, and it'll start scanning the area.
Yep. Anybody who wants to conduct a scanning roll may do so. We'll call this a reason, and then depending upon what you are looking for, which I will ask you to tell me first, you may request a difficulty of your... the discipline will depend upon what you are looking for. Xantar, in your case, this would be a reason plus medicine roll.
Mm-hmm. 2 successes.
Okay. If anybody else wants to roll, I will say you may do that whilst I get this set up. I can safely say, on your end, Xantar, the readout would seem to suggest that everything is relatively, I'd say that things seem quite safe, as best as you can read out. The radiation levels are not particularly harmful in the doses that you'd be getting here. It's a very low-level concentration. If you were spending days on end here in just the suits, that might be a problem, but you would run out of oxygen long before that became a problem.
Yeah. So it'll turn to latent. Only low levels here. It'll take a long time for it to bring any harm to us. But I have got shots, if anybody wishes to take some now. Of course, I've already taken one, because... Well, naturally.
No, over here.
Yeah, here you are. So he gets it into the like suit injection port and does... There we are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
He never feels quite so alive as when he's getting radiation injections. Alright.
Commander, you're glowing. Wait.
So, let's see. While all of that's being done, let's see. I'll have both Fernier and Melnyuk conduct rolls as well. So, let's open that up here. Engineering plus insight. Oh, that is... I can make sure that... Yep, that's a natural 20 from Fernier. And... let's see how Al does.
Jeez. Alright.
Al is going to get 3 successes. So, yeah, I'm going to award momentum on the basis of the highest roll there, which means Melnyuk will give you 2 additional points of momentum. For the situation being what it is, would you guys like to just use that incoming momentum to buy off Fernier's critical failure there and resulting complication?
Might as well, I think.
Yeah. So, we'll allow for that. We'll buy things off. I think that just for the sake of trying to maintain some consistency, I am going to try and be better about enforcing the momentum depletes after a scene. I won't be entirely consistent, and when that does happen, it will work to your advantage that the GM forgets for now, I am going to take 1 point from you, Shira.
Okie dokie.
So, just gonna steal that real quick. Yeah, Fernier runs a quick scan, and blasted engineering scanners giving me some difficulties here. Well, you know, Chief, we could probably just go for one of the... Sensors are telling me that more of the concentration seem to be along some of these smaller holes that... these smaller holes that have appeared here? She leans forward, and sure enough, shining the helmet light, she'll get closer to one of them. Oh, no, these are really peculiar. Commander, come take a look at this.
I'll come take a look at it.
Yep. You approach the hole. It what appears to be a fair-sized hole in a rock, in the rock, at least 1.5 meters wide. So you could, like in diameter, you could fit in this, like with a slight bit of a squat. Just accounting for what you're wearing with the EV suit.
So, what am I looking at?
Look at how the texture here. It's remarkably smooth. I mean, there's some, I'd say, some sort of abrasions here. I can't fathom what would. Don't know of quite any naturally occurring process that could erode that could penetrate the rock in this way.
So, it's been mined before?
Well, if it's been mined before, I don't know what they'd be going for as part of the thing. I mean, any sort of operation here. Correct me if I'm wrong. For the knuckle draggers over there, but you would leave it like this ore is pretty. There's still enough ore that's pretty easy to extract here, wouldn't you say?
Leighton's been scanning. He's been scanning with one hand, but he has like a number. He has like the rest of the mining materials like under his arms and over his shoulder. Like he is the pack horse, as it were. He's fine, but he's scanning. What do I scan around here? Like, is the ore still prime here? Like still on top? What's going on?
I'll say that there's still pretty significant heronium deposits in this section.
Yeah, plenty of it.
Yeah. So, and if somebody did have an active mining operation, then you would think that they, I don't know, have equipment around here, or people, or something saying, "Hi there, we're working on a claim." Then I don't know mining quite as well.
You can sparkly scoop it up. You can get it anywhere around here. Just kind of kicks the ground a little bit. Why put it in spots like this? It's a bit erratic.
Yeah.
Well, absent of anyone making a claim, is this a good spot for mining?
Yeah, we could easily. I'll let them cover it. Yes, Commander. Fernier jumps in. I think we could easily extract a good bit of ore here. Probably haul a decent bit back on the shuttle. I can start with just a small sample if you want, just for testing purposes. But I dare say we could. Probably, I have a nice little spot in Cargo Bay too, where the precursor could go till we can get it through the remaining refining processes. Something our engineering lab, I'm sure, would be able to do pretty quickly.
Take some samples, perform scans, and make sure this stuff is all good. And if it is, then we'll commence a full operation.
You bet, Commander. I'll get right to it.
Shira at this point will call back to the Aegis.
All right.
Her internal sharp chronometer is starting to beep in her head.
Yep. Give me a engineering
Chronometer.
plus. This will be control plus engineering. I'm going to set it to a difficulty of 2.
Control plus engineering. Difficulty of 2.
While that's happening, Layton's just setting down the equipment, preparing it.
Yep.
2. 2 successes.
Okay, 2 successes. There's a bit of a crackle as you get the communicator open. Away team. This is Aegis. We're barely reading you. Stand by. Compensating for interference. I think we have you clear now. Go ahead.
This is Shira. We've made it down onto the asteroid just fine. There's a small technical issue with the shuttle on approach, but nothing that Chief Justice couldn't handle. We're currently performing some scans of the local area. Chief Fernier has said that this does seem to be a good spot to conduct mining, and he's extracting some samples as we speak.
Any oddities or concerns? The captain says.
Yes, Lieutenant Milnex discovered some unusual holes, which she thinks aren't naturally occurring, but she's not sure as to their purpose or what made them.
Maybe signs of previous mining?
That's my thought, but we couldn't identify any process or why these particular spots. But there's nothing down here which suggests a current mining activity, at least from what we found.
All right. Be on your toes. Tell Fernier to work as fast as he can. I want you guys back up here as soon as possible.
Okay. We'll contact you in another half hour or when we leave.
Understood.
So, closing off the communicator, you start setting to work here. Leighton, if you'd like to take the lead on an engineering role just to get the equipment set up, to start rather the sample gathering process, I'll give you another control plus engineering role.
Control, engineering.
I'll have Fernier assist you too. And this is an.
I do not have specialties for this, so.
But this is an
Dwarf,
activation.
Yep, I already did. I put a value in him.
Okay.
No. All right. Yep. So let's go for. Yeah. Can I? If you guys don't mind, if I need some momentum to get a third die. Sweet. Burn a momentum, sure. And let's go for a third die on this. Woo.
Okay, that is 2 successes. And I'll have Fernier roll 1 additional d20 just to help you out there. And let's see. This time control. And with the assist, I'll give him resource management as a focus here. A third die adds there. I'll go ahead and give you back a momentum for that. So, well, I left the count at 5 by mistake, so I'll take that. I will also take notice that the Overland Gamer is reminding me to hydrate with some Quatloos, so. Thank you for the spend. Oh dear. That's that is a crossover I didn't see coming there. Well, thankfully you didn't change the narrative there, Joe. Nonsense from chat. Nobody needs to worry. Don't think about the Klingons, everybody. Yeah, within a few minutes, you have the gear assembled and you're spotting out sites to drill. Melnyuk is giving her advice as best she can. Yeah, just your coordinates very slightly. I'm sorry, Leighton, I need to give you some new information here just to correct for that. Some sort of interference that I don't think it's definitely some sort of radioactive signature, but it's not quite consistent with the other elements here. There. Adjust 7 degrees there, Leighton, and then you can begin mining out sections or initiate the mining laser.
Aye, 7.
Okay. With that, the device fires up, and you start extracting parts of the rock. While Melnyuk and Leighton are working, Xantar, Shira, are there any things that you would want to be doing right about now?
Nothing at the moment.
Making additional scans of the area. Even if I don't understand the geology, I'm sure the scans will be useful for our team.
Okay. Anything in particular that you are looking for? Give me an idea of how I can...
Any more of those holes that Milnick found?
Let's see. I will give you another roll there, and I will go so far as to say that you would have let's call this a difficulty 3 roll for this one.
Difficulty 3 what?
Reason, and then I will accept... Well, if you're pitching me on the geology, then I think engineering would be the appropriate role.
Okay. Alright. I could fail this, but fine. See what happens. Oh! Hello!
Hey, that is
A natural 1.
3 successes right there.
That's pretty good.
3 successes. Hey! I've been paying attention in geology class, apparently. Well, yeah, I am a daughter of a mining family, so perhaps something rubbed off.
Yeah. Shira, you remember back in your days on Party that the how important it was in mining operations to account for the various factors that would be there. Stability of the drill sites, tracking areas that you had already previously visited, just broad situational awareness. There are a lot of hazards with what could have happened. There's, of course, the various fauna on Andoria that likes to burrow. Memory serves, there are particularly nasty sort of worms that can
Ice spores.
melt. Yes, the ice spores that can melt through a lot of locations like that. And there were a few moments that you can recall from your childhood that would have served as very instructive to that end. So tracking the various sites comes as a sort of very old but second nature. As you proceed with your tracking, you do find signs that there are a pretty remarkable number of these, actually, situated on different areas around the cave. Some of them show higher deposits of metal, some show much less, but as you're trying to build a vague sense in it almost seems as though there is something of whatever the equivalent on Andoria would be to a honeycomb of these kind of throughout parts of the asteroid. There is also, at the very edge of that sensor range, somewhere deep in that honeycomb, signs of movement.
Movement.
Yes.
Could this movement be? Does it look like I don't know, some kind of internal rock slide or something else?
There is no geological process that you would understand to account for this, nor indeed does this asteroid appear geologically active. However, as you have encountered it, there is neither the signs of a usual mechanical explanation, nor a conventional biosign field that accounts for it. Nonetheless, you can detect the unmistakable signs of something moving through the hole.
Here's another question. Which way is it moving? Is it coming towards us?
It is moving on a course presently parallel, but from what you get from your sensor readout, I will ask for a point of momentum on this actually, just to obtain the information here.
I think that's a good spend, don't you guys?
Yeah.
It is on a track to approach the hole where Melnyuk, Fernier, and Leighton are presently digging near.
Ah. Everyone, stop digging and back away from that hole.
Hang on, almost got it.
Stop digging now. Back away from that hole.
He'll listen and start turning the thing off and trying to back away.
Yep. So, backing off of the equipment.
Found it? What do you
wait.
make of these readings? I'll hold up my scanner.
What the? Might be where some of this interference I'm picking up is coming from. I don't know what to make of this. It's as if there's an unknown, Commander. There is a faint glow starting to come from one of the nearby hole.
I think we should withdraw cautiously towards the shuttle.
Leighton starts grabbing the mining stuff, packing it away really quickly.
Can Zenithar try and do a scan for life forms?
You may attempt to do so. Call this a reason plus medicine roll. I am going to set the difficulty on this one to 4.
Ooh.
That is
okay.
to say that'll be the maximum difficulty that you can roll on this.
No. Okay. So I'm just making sure that if I have anything. Nope. Okay. If everyone's okay. Oh, we've only got 2 momentum.
You should actually have still a couple more points. I've just been very bad about assigning stuff.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So the
Okay.
current readout based on what we have with the stream is 4 points of momentum.
There we go.
Okay. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to spend 1 to get an extra die.
Yeah.
Seems good to me.
Yeah.
Cool.
At the very least, I'll say it's 4 because the Overland Gamer has once again spent 1,000 quatlus to give you an extra point of momentum.
Hey,
Yay.
thank you very
The
much.
most honorable conduct from our friends over at the Broken Sword campaign.
Great. All right, here we go. Hey!
Hey, nice, well done.
Well, it is most strange from your sensor readout there, Xantar.
Mm-hmm.
What you are tracking, it would not read as a conventional life form, or it falls well outside the basis for what you would normally scan. But there are some quirks to it that make you realize that there may indeed be something. There are signs of organic processes that you are just barely able to get a read on, that would very likely suggest something is actually alive in there. A vague field, some sort of energy field that you would suggest almost conforms to a biosign field, but it's very much on the edge of what you would consider biosign. And from what other readouts you are picking up, the suggestion is that it seems as though there could be something more in the vein of what other scientists have referred to as cosmozoan, a spaceborne life form.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I will very quietly communicate with Shira. Commander, I think
Yes.
we may be dealing with a spacefaring life form here. I don't know if we'll be able to negotiate with it, but it might be best, as you say, to back off.
Yeah. I wonder if our mining started attracting its attention.
Quite possible. It might also be that it's, well, might be its home.
By the way, you're
Melnick, do you know much about life forms inhabiting asteroids?
I'll quickly note, Xantar, your scanner begins to beep just a little bit more. Meanwhile, Melnyuk says, I can't say that I'm particularly familiar with the phenomena of Cosmozoa. I haven't had an encounter quite like this. So far as I knew, there were only some scant logs from the Enterprise of encounters. It's kind of a different specialty of field, but if I have your permission, Commander, this would be a really unique opportunity.
They could also ease us. Yeah, I know what he needs.
If you can make some scans at a safe distance, please do so. Even if it doesn't intend us any harm, it still might cause some
Commander,
accidental harm.
I'm getting a lot more beeps on the scanner. I think
What do
there
the
may be
beeps
more.
mean?
And as
Good question.
you look in Xantar's direction, Shira, you notice that a figure has just come around the shuttle pod.
Oh.
With a blade in hand.
Oh. I will draw my own blade and get myself between Xantar and Jimmy the robot here.
You step between yourself and Xantar, closing to a melee range, at what appears to be a tall, broad-shouldered, space-suited individual, bearing quite a nasty weapon. I will give you the opportunity for one insight plus security if you would like. Well, actually, I'd say that circumstances are a little more dire at the moment, so let's make this afterwards, because you know what? You're in combat now.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep. Shira, you get the initiative here.
Okay. So this thing approaching me, you say it's got some kind of a blade in its hand.
Yes.
It definitely has hands, two arms.
And this appears to be a conventional biped, rather.
Conventional biped, right? Okay.
A very tall, bulky one. Either that or it's in a very large spacesuit.
Okay, cool. So it does seem to have some kind of head.
That it does.
Oh, right.
It's a large, sort of very opaque and like fully polarized screen, as far as you can tell, that are like over its faceplate.
And it hasn't actually made any aggressive moves.
It's
yet.
taking steps towards you, and it clearly has some sort of melee weapon, or rather, it was taking steps towards Xantar, but its attention is now on you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Let's see if I can give myself an edge first of all. Most asteroids are kind of made up of like loose rock and dust and stuff. Can I try to kick a cloud of it up in its face so when it does attack, it has some kind of disadvantage thing going on?
I will allow you to, you can either make that a create advantage task, or you may spend that to, or you can spend 2 momentum in order to do that.
Let's make it a task.
Okay. I'm going to call this, let's make this a daring plus security roll.
Daring plus security. Okay.
Difficulty
I'll give you a point of threat for an extra dice.
The GM will accept your D20. I also have to update the threat counter. At the moment,
Does my focus in hand-to-hand combat apply?
Not exactly, because you're not actually engaging it in hand-to-hand combat just
Fair
yet.
enough. Okay. Daring and security. Didn't know what the difficulty was, but that should be enough to kick some dirt up.
I said 2, so that
there you go.
that should apply. Obviously, because this thing doesn't have exposed eyes, it's not going to impair it in quite the same way, but it will be enough to at least give you maybe a slight advantage for the encounter. So I'll say that you have a little bit more. You still get the point of momentum, so that's on your side. And I will basically, it would normally, were you aiming to basically increase its difficulty or try to increase its complication range a little bit with the advantage?
I mean, if it's gonna attack, then it wouldn't be difficulty. It'd be because it'd be swinging against my own roll, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's the usual complication with something like that. In a sense, you have given your.
I guess it would be complication range increase, I guess.
Gotcha. So, with that,
basically, I've kicked up a cloud of dust and stuff between us in the microgravity of this asteroid.
Yeah, it tries to like brush it aside and swing through as it begins with an attack of its own, so it will roll daring plus security against your daring plus security.
Yep.
It will gain it. It will apply its focus in melee combat, and let's see, it's going in with the Tegalar, so that will definitely apply there.
Okay.
You must beat 3 successes.
Okay, I'll give you an extra threat for an extra dice.
Okay.
Let's just quickly read. Let me reroll task. Excellent. So I've got rerolls coming from the bold security and the Yushan if I need them. Which I don't.
Yep, you take 4 successes there to their 3, so you gain back 1 more point of momentum. The being it manages to just clear the distance through the cloud and immediately comes through swinging with deadly precision as it moves its blade. It's some sort of edged blade, so it goes for a slashing motion, particularly trying to go for like a midsection or even if possible to sever like one of the O2 tubes, but you manage to, through combination of evasion and blocking, prevent it from doing so. Because you have won that check, Shira, you may not only inflict... you get the opportunity to inflict damage of your own, either with the unarmed strike or the Ushan Tor.
I think it'll be the Ushan Tor.
Okay. Go ahead, roll damage, and I must ask first, are you going for a lethal strike?
I think the idea would be for it take out his sword arm.
So more of a disarming move.
Lethal, although I suppose the spray of oxygen and stuff from a suit puncture might prove otherwise, but she's not trying to outright kill it straight away.
Gotcha. A chance for it to be saved as it... I would call lethal in this case trying to puncture through its faceplate. Or,
no, not yet.
Actually drive it through the suit into the neck, all that sort of thing. So yeah. Yep, so that will give you...
and Vicious 1, what does that do again?
For every effect you roll, that will add 1 additional point of damage. So with that, that is 4... Yep, 9 points of damage, which is more than enough for, let's see, that'll definitely be enough for 1 injury. I'm going to ask, give me just 1 moment to double check something. Okay, that is enough for 1 injury, so, Craig, describe to me, how does Shira counter this, marauding space-suited foe?
So as it comes swinging through the cloud of dust, I shift my position to one side, so where it thinks I was, I no longer am, and bring the Ushan Tor slashing down on his sword arm, hopefully lacerating it. I guess there's a puff of escaping air from where the blade cuts into this suit.
You're doing...
And possibly into the arm and all that.
Yep. You do indeed slice a portion of the suit, and it clutches at the wound, tightening the now emptied fist as you successfully disarm it. With that injury, it would normally be out of the fight, but this thing has a value. All others are weak.
You're not allowed values. Ugh.
So, with that, it is technically, or the turn technically goes back to the crew, so I will say if any of the players would like to act right now, then you can do so. If not, then I'm just going to treat this as individual combat between Shira and the foe. Would one of you want to do anything?
Done.
I like to see Shira be a badass. So
Fair enough. Shira,
Xantar will move away at least. Just like,
Yep. Xantar.
Full sheet.
Yep. Xantar
bravely ran
disengages.
away.
Yep. The turn order is now your... well, it's reset, so Shira, it is now your turn once again.
Oh, okay. That's good. Right. This time I want it to surrender. So let's see. Just assessing my chances. If I want it to surrender, say I jump back a bit, pull my phase pistol, and it would be what, a command presence roll?
Trying to intimidate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say. I would actually say that it could be security at presence for intimidation.
Interesting. I like that. Yeah, especially with him or her or them air escaping from the arm. So I'll jump back a little way, just out of melee. Pull out my phase pistol in my other hand and level it at the chap. And try to indicate as best as you can for him to drop the weapon and surrender.
Okay, well, I will say the weapon it had is, you did successfully disarm it with that
okay,
injury.
cool.
So,
In that case, I'll ask it ask it to surrender.
okay. So, let's see. Go ahead and give me that intimidation roll as you try to non-verbally convey, at the very least, stop or I will shoot you.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, you'll get another point of threat for an extra dice here.
Very good.
We have momentum. We have momentum. You can spend momentum to get extra die.
I could, but this is a great thing about bold security. I give him threat and I get reroll. I don't do that if I get.
Yeah, it's a win-win, Panda.
Yeah, we all win as a group, GM included. Oh, hold on. What's this? That's an interesting one. I've got a talent called Diffuse the Tension, but I think it's possibly past the point of use here.
As I recall,
it says, whenever you attempt a task to persuade someone not to resort to violence, you may add a bonus d20 to your dice pool, but I think he's already resorted to violence.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to ask him to stop resorting to violence, so I'm not sure.
This man woke up and chose violence.
He did, yeah. Okay, well, that's something for another day. 3 dice. What's the difficulty?
It is contested, so this marauder is going to roll against you.
Boo. Okay. Well.
Okay, so that is 2 points on that. I am going to spend 1 point of threat to buy an additional d20 there. I have to beat your...
using the threat I gave you against me? Damn. Curses.
Curse my...
I've seen this.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of your own actions.
Curse your sudden and inevitable betrayal.
Yep. Okay, that was 3 dice there, because I spent the additional threat to buy that.
Yes, so you need to roll an extra die. Okay, I'm going to re-roll that 0 using my bold security. Nothing going.
Well, that's no momentum,
just
but
one shot.
You do manage to convince him to stop being violent, or at the very least to not jump at you. With his next move, he's going to stand there for a moment, and he is going to, with the partially vacuum-exposed hand, or like with the slice bit, is going to tap a button on his wrist, and he is going to stand there, just kind of in front of you for a few moments.
Is this a predator situation?
He does not have any shoulder-mounted weaponry coming up.
No, I'm just concerned about the bit where the Predator's defeated, taps something on his arm and explodes.
I can assure you there is no self-destruct. As a matter of fact, partly
He's
to
got
pad
any
my own
friends.
momentum, let's call this Control plus Engineering. Difficulty 1, because they're better with this, and he still manages to succeed. Okay, yep, that got the word out then.
Back. Okay, Shira's gonna order the rest of the crew back to the shuttle. Double time, move now. And
Yeah.
someone call up to the ship and let them know there's hostile people here.
Yep. So, you start piling into the shuttle pod.
Shira will have the pistol trained on this guy while the crew get on.
Yeah, he's going to say this being's going to clutch back to his hand, but he's going to keep he's going to keep within your line of sight very intentionally. Like, you feel, Shira, this is him, like, basically, like, trying to show that even in this really bad situation that he's caught in, like, a persistence or belligerence about this that suggests like a serious threat. So, say that everybody else is able to climb into the ship. Are you?
Yep.
Just going to leave him where he is, basically, Shira?
He must have come from somewhere.
Well, it's more a question of, do you want to chance him trying to pull anything here, or would you go for the stun, even if it means at this point a second injury that would risk its life?
He's under control, and I'm not sure he's got anti-shuttle weaponry, so...
Fair enough.
If he goes for a pistol or something stupid, then she's shooting. But
Yeah. I'll say that you file in quickly enough, and that the shuttle's hull plating is polarized, so by the time he has the presence of mind to get that, the shuttle is already beginning takeoff procedures. So, or you are already well secured. So, on the inside of the shuttle pod, Justice says, I guess we're gonna be testing that paint job today after all.
get her up and going.
Don't you worry about it, I got this. RCS firing up, we're all good. And with that, he's going to race out of the section, out of the cavern. Thrusters fired.
Shira will use the shuttle's comms to contact Aegis.
Yep. Let's see. I'll not have you roll for this. Just you open the comm line. We'll cut over to Aegis for one moment here. Let me shift us over to the bridge. Let's see. There we go. Shuttlepod, please come in. We're trying to get through to you here. Could you repeat that? Captain, hail from the shuttle pod, putting it on now. Screening for interference.
We're returning to the Aegis. We were attacked by someone in an armored spacesuit with a sword.
And any identifiable markers?
Top of my head, no, but I'll review the camera file afterwards. No one's injured, well, apart from him, but no one important injured.
As a note, Xantar, you did get the reading on that biosign.
Okay, good. I will. Can I send the information to the Aegis?
I mean, you're on the shuttle with them right now, with Shira right now, so you could very easily chime in.
Yeah, you could chime in pretty easily.
Yeah. We found what seems to be a native species to space, living on board of the asteroid, Colonel.
A native humanoid.
Um, questionable, but definitely
I-
seems to be a spacefaring species.
Just to be clear, the species we detected in the hull, that's different to the chap who attacked us,
Now, I might.
right, Zach?
Yeah, the other what you picked up in the tunnel appears to be some sort of relatively small cosmozoan. I'd say smaller than
Yeah.
your shuttle pod.
The captain's more concerned about the person attacking you.
Yeah.
I think I can answer who was attacking you. It seems my scanner picked up Nausicaan, sir.
Oh.
Uh,
How much does Shira know about Norse? I suspect she's come across them in anti-piracy duties.
that you have, Shira. You recognize that a lot of times that they fly in small raider-type craft, generally scale 2 vessels. So, very basically, as you clear the field, thereabouts a lot like this one.
That one, yeah. Yeah, that's a good demonstration. Well, you can move that from the screen now. You don't have to keep
God, it's
that
coming
up.
right towards us.
Commander, they got a target lock!
Evasive maneuvers. As if
Alright.
I have to say that.
Yep. Justice is going to...
Uh,
this is going to be a moment of, let's see, this is actually going to be where we leave off here. Somebody... stand by. Let me fix one thing here with the shuttle pod so that we don't auto-complicate when it's not supposed to. Alright, Peter, the shuttle should be good to go, so I'm going to say roll me engines and con. As
Okie dokie.
Justice rolls control plus con. And this is a rare case
Nice.
of
That's better.
a
Good
contested
stuff.
roll.
I will use a momentum for the third die.
yep. We can create an advantage.
Very
You
good.
guys, we do
Well
have
done,
6.
shuttle. By the way, well done, shuttle.
Should we create an advantage?
Thank you.
We've absolutely got the momentum to create advantage if we want to create advantage.
What are you thinking?
I want to create an advantage by the captain has already prepped just in case there was an ambush, and she basically just does a proximity detonation of a missile, a torpedo.
Okay, so...
Oh my lord, what's going
Those-
on there? No,
All
there's
right.
well, one of them's a natural 20, but the others
Yep.
are 12.
Yep. So...
I want to basically create a depth charge.
Yeah, well done, Justice.
Okay, so... let's see. I think that I know how the results are going to be for that, as Justice basically tries to pull up on the controls, try to effect a quick dodge. The
Yep.
shuttlecraft fires, and on the bridge from the distant displays, as you give a signal to tactical, you wait and hope that something, that the right set of circumstances come up in order to properly screen the shuttle pod. The precise results of that, however, we're going to rule on next time.
Aw.
Yep. We are going to come back with Star Trek Adventures Aegis next week with our part 2. But until then, for those of you in the archive, this is where we are going to leave off. So let me just, before we go, change the counts to reflect. Let's see, I think that we are at 7 points of threat, and Oh no, I think that we need to drop it here at the most suspenseful point, which I'll note 2 momentum has been spent for that advantage, and I will log it appropriately to resolve this. For those in the archive, though, this is where we leave you off, so we hope that you join us next week. If you can join us live, we air Saturdays at 1:30, or rather at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That's 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So, till then, feel free to catch us later. Otherwise, we'll see you again in the archive.